Hey there, Justplanepyro here, and I'm back after a long absence, making some decent videos like reviews and whatnot. Had some family issues going on, had some people pass away that were close to me, as life goes, and my health has been taking a hit thanks to COVID. I contracted COVID a couple weeks ago and finally just started to get over it. So hopefully I fully recover and get some plans on the way when it comes to making some more content for everyone out there. Excuse me. But in this video, we are going to go back to some classic RC reviews. Well, a modern take on a classic. Here is the Air Hogs mini storm launcher. You may remember I reviewed this many years ago when my channel was Airplay Kid 95, and I mostly reviewed all these old classic Air Hogs models that I had in my collection. And it's a pretty interesting model based off the original full-size Mega Storm Launcher that can run on water, fly, and go on the ground. This one is the more smaller, compact, and more crash-proof version, as it's got the most durable body on a model I have ever seen. And it does have wheels on the bottom to be rolling around on the ground, and it could fly. And these things used to fly pretty well back in their heyday. But of course, time takes a toll on everything, and these motors are now heavily worn out, as you've seen many years ago when I tried reviving this particular model by removing the original LiPo battery that was permanently mounted inside of the plane and replacing it with this lead here so I can use almost any LiPo battery with it. And it did do the job, and I was able to play around with it again. But unfortunately, the motors are unevenly worn and are very weak. So as a result, when I had this thing running around on the ground, and always steered in one direction no matter what I tried to use the trim. And at the same time, when I tossed it out of my hand, it only flew for maybe 5 to 10 seconds at the most, and it just came back to the ground, showing how weak and finagled these little tiny motors are now. They just cannot make the power that they could. And even when these power motors are brand new, they were pretty underpowered. But they still had some fun times flying these things back then. But now, for those of you out there that thought maybe the design of the storm launchers has been gone for good, well, for Spin Master anyway, Air Hogs has been gone for quite a while. I haven't really seen that many of their products anymore on the shelf. But if you look around on Amazon or any of those weird online websites, you can probably find something pretty similar as I'm about to demonstrate to you now. Here it is. It doesn't have a specific name. Look, this strange flying machine almost looks very identical or very similar to the mini storm launcher. It is almost the same size, and it has the same material. This is called the Air 815 Super. Here's the box. Zoom in on it. It's got some. It's just a Chinese toy. It doesn't really have any specific brand name on it. Upper Air Herald, and the specifications are right up here, if I can get the camera focused on them. Pardon me. See, comes with a small 3.7 volt 300 milliamp battery, just like the original mini storm launcher had, but this one is removable. 35 grams in weight, 2.4 gigahertz. So this is basically a modern retake on the mini storm launcher. And look at the front of this thing. It's pretty interesting. It's got these plastic little things on the front for, I guess, durability reasons, and added front end weight. It's got two propellers just like the original, and they're facing forward like the large one did. And they're 3-bladed propellers. These are very powerful little motors too, compared to the older one in the background, and can give you really nice precision control. And you'll be able to decently steer this thing around and be able to do some ground dwelling stunts, as well as some really nice flying. This thing can climb pretty high up. And it also has a gyro built in, so it prevents it from, you know, getting unstable in the air and crashing. The only assembly you will have to do with this particular aircraft is these vertical stabilizers would have to be clicked in, which have already been done. And, of course, charging your battery. And then speaking of accessories, let's take a look at them. You get yourself this tiny little LiPo battery, 300 milliamp size, and it runs pretty decent long time for this aircraft too. And it goes inside of here. This is the battery tray here, and there's a little plug, which is kind of hard to get to. If you use a little screwdriver, you can carefully take that out so you can fit the battery in and turn the machine on and have a blast. And then, of course, you put this lid back on and you'll be good to go. This thing was $40 on Amazon, which is about the same price as the original mini storm launcher back in 08. And I just like the modern inconveniences of this particular model. I know this is more of a kid's toy, just like the original. I just like seeing the flashback of this. And it's nice to see a strange flying boat machine in the air again. Here's its charger. Simple USB charger that plugs into your cell phone charger or computer, and it lights up to tell you whether it's charging or not. A red light means it's charging, and when it goes away, it's full. And of course, a baby transmitter. It's only a 2-channel dealie. No spring though, which is a good thing. So you can always keep it in one position while you're up in the air or on the ground. Up and down. And of course you got your turning left and right. And it is differential thrust, obviously, just like the original mini storm launcher. And the plus of having a gyro allows it to keep it a lot more stable in the air and allows it to climb. As you can see, I do kind of like the original mini storm launcher decals and design in terms of that regard versus this Chinese version here. But I do like how this is more powerful. It can run on water, unlike the mini here, but it can't take off from water because the propellers will hit the water and you won't get enough thrust to get up in the air. But other than that, it's very similar design to the original mini storm launcher, and it is worth it for those nostalgia geeks out there that had grown up with the original storm launchers to fly something similar in your older years. It's got a up reflex on the elevator back here, just like the mini storm launcher does. It's got the middle fuselage, and down here you got a little grabber to hold so you can hand toss it, just like the mini storm launcher. And the plastic wheels, which you can use to glide around on smooth surfaces, so you can drive it around like a car. So yeah, this thing's actually more just like the original full-size storm launcher in a way, because you can let it ride around the ground, go on the water a little bit, and it can fly. And it's also just as durable. You can beat the heck out of this thing, just like the original mini storm launcher. Okay, but enough jibber jabber. I got you some flight video from way back in the summertime of this thing flying around at dusk, just to show you how nice this thing flies, and maybe you could get yourself one or your kids one to get started. It's a blast. We'll see you in the next video. Ha ha. Stuck in the grass.